Well, hello. How's everybody doing? Hey, Kelsey, how are you? I just want to let y'all know I'm prepared for the trolls tonight. You know, the ones that were last night in the numerology class telling me to take my shirt off? Okay, well, I'm not going to take my shirt off because seriously, you know, nobody wants to see that. I mean, not even the cats. And this one's injured. He can't really go that far. It's funny. Hey, Connie. Hey, Catlin. Well, how's everybody doing? Well, I'm so excited because this is a little bit of a different subject, and I left the second camera up so that you guys could see what I'm dealing with here. So, when I record all of my stuff for readings at the round table, this is where I do the spreads so that the camera can see the spreads and I can put them out there. Well, Badger has, and really Patches and Mouse too, they like to lay here. And I'm like, really? This is great. That's good, Catlin. No, I'm just gonna block the asses. So, but I just wanted you guys to see what I was dealing with here. That this is my workspace. So every reading I've done today, I've had about this much space because there's been a cat laying here, and a cat laying here, and a cat laying here. And Jasmine is just looking at me from the floor like, the hell? Kind of funny. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and turn Badger off. As cute as he is. Mm-hmm. So we've got a fiery full moon coming in. Now, there's several things I want to talk to you guys about. I've had so many conversations this week with other people that are practitioners, whether you want to call them witches or spellcasters, whatever you want to call them. I feel like that's all I've been talking to this week. I mean, other than my clients. And it's very interesting, like some of, and I don't call them baby witches because I kind of think that's weird. But I do call them novices. And we've all been there, right? We've all been in a place where we're just starting out and we're trying to find our footing and we're trying to figure it out and getting really excited and saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And that is awesome. And I think it's great. But don't call me crying when shit doesn't work out the way you think it will. I mean, that's the universe, right? Spell work, and I will say this until my last breath. Spell work is 85% at the very least intention. The biggest magical element that I can tell you to use is right here and right here. Oh, Debbie, no, she is a beautiful witch. She and I are streaming to each other's sites. Carrie, La Hermosa Bruja, she and I are streaming to each other's sites. So yes, I am a guest. I am from Metaphysical Round Table. But also, you guys that are watching Metaphysical Round Table, La Hermosa Bruja, Carrie Rodriguez, fantastic. She's going to be doing, she's got something going Saturday night that's going to be on this channel. Um, she's got something going Sunday for the full moon. And next week, she is doing Sugar Skulls. And she's also doing that on Metaphysical Roundtable. So I'm so excited to have her. She is amazing. And if you're ever looking, I know we've talked about this before on the show. If you're ever looking for quality ingredients, you want to buy from Carrie. That's awesome. Carrie and Doll Baby Witchery. So La Hermosa Bruja and Doll Baby Witchery, they have fantastic stuff. It has really good energy, really good quality. It's amazing. Hi Belinda. Hi Debbie. So, um, The thing is, too, we will put a lot of energy into bringing things to fruition, right? We put a lot of energy into our work. We put a lot of energy, a lot of manifesting into what we're doing. Sometimes we do have to take a break, though. Everybody does. You have to just like chill through it. We've got this fiery full moon coming on. Hang on. It hits its peak at it hits its peak on Sunday, the 9th, in Aries. And that's no, it's gonna be Sunday for everybody. So no matter what the time is. Um sorry, my eyelashes are doing something weird. Um so after this fiery full moon, we're going to have a solar eclipse on the 25th. Yep, solar eclipse on the 25th and a lunar eclipse 2 weeks later. Back to back, people. Now, the last lunar eclipse that we had in May had a huge effect on all the fixed signs: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. It had a huge effect on them. It was closing doors for them. It wasn't even just closing the door. I keep saying in my readings that it wasn't just a door close, it was closing the door, painting over it, bricking that thing up, and pretending like it was never there, and building another door somewhere else. It was closing the book, putting it on the shelf, and starting a whole new volume. That's what that eclipse was in May. It's finally coming out of that for these for the fixed signs of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. It's finally like run its course. It's like going through it. But let me tell you, in this eclipse season, this is not a time when you need to be manifesting. This is not a time when you need to be doing all of like, starting new stuff and like putting in all your energy for like I don't even want to say not to do spells because that's just sometimes it's just in us, right? To just do it. And we do it habitually, whether we're thinking about protection, whether we're thinking about healing or abundance or whatever, prosperity. This is this is the thing though. Everyone needs to just sort of rest through these eclipses because this is going to be a rough ride. We've got Mars in Gemini. Mars is going retrograde in Gemini. So Mars is going to be camped out in one sign for like 7 or 8 months. I haven't actually done the math. I'm sorry. It's close to 8 months. Mars is in the same sign. Normally, Mars changes signs like every 2 months or so. So this is an unusual thing for him. The last time he was retrograde in Gemini was December 2007, January 2008, somewhere in that neighborhood. You can Google it and see what happened around that time. Weird stuff happens when Mars is retrograde in Gemini. So, what we've got here is we've got eclipses and we've got Mars going retrograde, all at the end of October. Luckily, we've got Pluto going direct this Saturday, which is going to be helpful. And we have Saturn going direct on the 22nd. Well, depending on your time zone, it could also be the 23rd. So we've got a little bit of help, but we still have a lot of planets in retrograde. And when Mars joins them, that's some really powerful energy. And in fact, guess guess who rules Aries? Mars. Yeah. So at least Mercury is not retrograde right now. That's very helpful. Um, sorry. I forgot to turn the sound off on my computer. So we've got a lot of good stuff going to help us through these retrogrades. But the thing is, hey Jen Strotman, hey Becky, hey Suzanne, what we really want to focus on here is we want to focus on rest and reflection and breathing and flowing with the current, not trying to flow against it. We want to flow with the current during this time. It's a good time to take a rest. It's a good time to take a hiatus and just be like, okay, we're just going to go with this. I'm not telling you not to stand up for yourself. I'm not telling you not to use your energy to put protection around you and your family and your home and your business and your animals. I'm not telling you that. I'm just saying this is not the best time to say, I'm going to start working with a new spell, or I'm going to start manifesting in something new for myself. Let's just stay with the same energies that we've built, that baseline. Because this is going to be interesting. Yeah. But that Mars retrograde coming together with the eclipses, with the solar and the lunar eclipse, is intense energy. It's very intense. So, oh my gosh, I just got my bracelet caught in the book. So I want to give you guys some good I want to give you guys some good ideas and some good things to work on during this eclipse time. And one of them is working with some different tools, but not doing anything new with them. Just kind of exploring, just seeing what they feel like, because we want to wait until this eclipse energy is sort of done. Now, I will say this, eclipse energy it does trail for a long time, right? Those fixed signs that I was telling you about, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, they're still feeling the effects of that eclipse that we had in May. It's just now coming to a close. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to try to give you some ideas and some things to help you rest and reflect and breathe. Yeah. So, I've talked to you guys before about how I always thought that saying the word grimoire, another witch's grimoire was really, really a bad thing. I always thought that. Um, because typically, historically, witches were either buried with their grimoires or their spell books, however you want to put it, their book of shadows. They were buried with it, or it got burned after they passed away. It's not so much that now. I mean, people do still keep their stuff very private. I'm one of them. I'm very, very private about a lot of my stuff, and I'll share it with people, but not. I've had some harsh lessons where I don't share that stuff as openly as I once might have. But I want to talk to you guys about creating your own. So, my stepmom, she is a friend of mine, but she gave me this book, and it was supposed to be some kind of journal. And it's Inspirations, a Gratitude Journal. Okay. So what I did, she doesn't know I did this. I took it and I turned it into my own personal little, it's not exactly a book of shadows, it's really my book of spells. It tells me what works and what doesn't. Here's a blank page. So it says the day and the date. And it says things like today's weather, today I feel, I'm grateful for, spiritually and it gives all these blanks and all this all these things like people in my thoughts, magical moments, donations of the heart for a better tomorrow. And then the back of that page is completely blank. Of course, I changed it a little bit. What a shocker. Um, so I do put in the day, but usually I put in um is there a specific day that this spell needs to be done? Does it need to be done in the waning moon? Does it need to be done in the waxing moon? Does it need to be done in the dark moon, or does it need to be done in the full moon? Because there's a lot of that. There's a lot of working with the rhythms and the cycles of the moon, which again, there's a time that the moon rests. So we also need to embrace that. Hey, Lori. I second that. Resting seems underrated. It really is. It's incredibly underrated because nobody worked, historically speaking, nobody works as hard as we do today. I mean, people used to take naps. They used to take rest during the day. It was common practice. But during the Industrial Revolution, that somehow just stopped. I mean, people would work really hard, like in the summertime or in the harvest season. They would work really hard, but then they would have an enormous party and like rest. They took time to rest because they had worked so hard. So there was a pattern, but we don't even do that anymore, do we? No, we just keep on plowing through like winter, spring. It don't matter. We're just going to keep going and pray for that like 7-day vacation that we can go on somewhere. 7 whole days. Wow. That doesn't even seem like a holiday, does it? So in the day part, now I put if there's a special time, the spell needs to be done. Or sometimes I'll just put the title. You know, I just put stuff in there like, all the time. And what I do on the main page is I usually put in like all of the things that that spell needs, all the tools that it needs, all the ingredients, whatever. And then on the back page, behind it, I write the actual spell. I write the actual ritual. I put that in there. This is mine. Hey, Courtney. Um, well, that's a good question, Lori. Was mental health much better back then? I I don't know. I mean, Henry VIII, beheaded two wives. I don't really say that's a like ringing endorsement for mental health. Um, I mean, he just created a reason to behead people. Wow, what a sweetheart. Um, you know, Rape was a common thing after like war. They would just go into a village and just find whoever they could. So I don't necessarily think that mental health was better back then, but I think we were getting to a place where it was getting better. I think we were getting to a much better place, like society wise. And then we threw a wrench into it by like, oh, let's work 10 hours a day. Hey Maisha. Um, so this to me is not just maybe they weren't napping, Lori. I like that. Maybe they weren't. Um, but this to me is my version of a grimoire or book of shadows or however you want to put that. But I really think that this would be a good time for you to create one or to start thinking about one or to start working on one because this is a good time to be restful. This is not a time to stress yourself out, but this is a time to be restful. Another good thing is maybe you're thinking about you're thinking about herbs or you're thinking about an herb garden. Why don't you like start doing something simple like taking in herbs and putting them in oils or alcohols, whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to infuse your food with the herbs, the essence of the herb, put it in oil. I have several bottles of olive oil sitting in my kitchen right now. One has a lot of rosemary in it, and another bottle has just garlic. I know I do love some garlic. I've done a whole show on garlic before. I mean, I just can't get enough. But this is definitely the way to go during this time, okay? This is a good time to let go of things. This is a good time to just release some of that stuff that you're like, I'm just panicked about this. I just need to hold on to this. I just need to, da, 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 da. No, no, you don't. And I want to say this because I talked about this with someone earlier today, and with one of my clients. We were talking about how everyone is replaceable. Like, I mean, not in our hearts. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about at work. If you are working yourself into a frenzy over a job and you're ignoring your family, you're ignoring your health, you're ignoring your pets. I know, like, some of you, I've already turned the camera off of Badger here, but he's still here. Yeah. If you're working yourself into that for somebody else's company, or even if it's your own, if you're working yourself into that, how great is that for you? How is that working out for you? Because everyone is replaceable. If I don't post my stuff on Amazon to sell, I can guarantee you there's 10 other people that's going to post the same shit. It's just that easy. I mean, I'm not telling you that I don't love my husband, because I do. I mean, he's a giant pain in the ass sometimes, but so am I. And I'm really good at it because I'm older than him and I've been practicing longer. Don't want to brag or anything. But the thing is, if something happened to us and we separated or moved on, come on. I'm not going to be alone for a long time. I mean, I'm not young, but I'm not going to be alone. I was never alone when I was single. So everybody is replaceable, including me. If I wasn't doing my show tonight, there would be 10 other shows that you could watch. I mean, even if you wanted to watch a Cheers rerun, I don't know what else. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. Sorry. But everyone is. So if you're working yourself to death and you're not putting anything out there for yourself, if you're not taking care of yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice. And don't skip out on your family either. Because when all is said and done, even if it's your family of spirit, when all is said and done, there's only going to be a handful of people around you to take care of you, to help you out of a situation, to work through something that's life altering for you, right? That's what you need to think about. So, um, I'm just trying to see. Sorry. Oh, y'all are talking to each other. I'm going, oh, people are talking. And Maisha and Courtney are over here having a conversation. Come on. They're replacing me and I'm still here. Okay, Becky says she's been making lots of oils plus bath scrubs. Oh my gosh, I would love to see that, because the lady that's in the chat that I was just giving a hard time to, Maisha, she makes fantastic oils. I mean, fantastic. When I was like, covered in hives, and I still have all the scars from it, when I was covered in hives and the hives started going into my hair, it was her oils. My fingernails get stuck in my hair. It was her oils that helped me. And then when I discovered how well it was doing, like on my scalp and on my hair, girl, I was dousing my arms, because it is for the body as well. But I was putting that all over me. So there's some really, really awesome stuff. Oh, I'm sorry, Cindy. Hey, and I just see that, like, it's there. Okay, Lori, the moon in Aries starts on Saturday night, if I believe. I'm gonna pull my I have a calendar down here that I use for my astrology chat show. Because I can see that one, but I can't see it. Yeah. So, by the way, these Llewellyn's calendars, they're fantastic. If you are just learning astrology, there's a lot of information in the back that will help you. Because when I first started learning astrology in 2017, this is what the astrologer that I was working with, um, that's what she told me. She goes, this is where you need to start. And then she started teaching me. And I've since taken just a buttload of classes. Actually, I'm taking another class right now. I can't stop. I can't stop. Okay. The Aries moon actually starts on Saturday at 11:57 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, Pluto goes direct at 5:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then um on Monday, the moon goes into Taurus at 5:04 p.m. But I will say this, on Monday the 10th, the moon is void of course almost all day. So the moon has finished all of its it's finished everything that it was going to do in Aries. It's finished everything and it goes void of course on Monday morning. Aspects, that's the word I was thinking. I have moon in Aries in my birth chart. Is it going to be bad? No, no, no. I love it when the moon goes into Gemini, and I got a Gemini moon. So I love it. Embrace it, Lori. Embrace it. And you know, everybody needs that little fire. But I really like this moon because it is that get up and go energy that we need. And we need that last little bit of get up and go energy before we take this rest. Do you see what I'm saying? So we got this full moon in Aries and it's a fiery moon, and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's ruled by Mars. It's just so it's such a great it's such a great sign just to like get in there and do something, right? So if you have something that you're trying to manifest, if you have something you're trying to release, we typically release at the full moon, right? Because what do I teach you guys? We release from the full moon to the new moon, and we manifest from the new moon to the full moon. But not this time. When we get to that new moon, the 25th. When we get to the new moon in Scorpio on the 25th, do not start manifesting. This is a time to rest. This is a time to sit back and just go, I'm grateful. Be grateful. Roll with the flow. Go with the current. And it is hard. It's not easy. The way I'm saying it, it sounds easy, but I'm not that person. And half of y'all that I know are not like that either. You want to get out there and make something happen, right? And if the current is taking you in a direction and you're just like, I don't think I like that. Yeah, that too. It happens, but you have to just sort of ease into this. This is not the time to try and force change because Mars is also in retrograde with these eclipses. So, are you okay? See, he's holding his little injured leg. It's getting better though. I know, baby. All right, let me double check Mars retrograde days. Oh my gosh, really? I gotta get my glasses. Okay, Mars goes retrograde on October 30th. Yeah. Okay, let me see what we got here. She could major in astrology in college. I have some great books, Maisha. Just email me and remind me, or text me and remind me to give them to tell you what they are. I'm gonna need that get up and go energy. I'm fixing to go to nights for a couple of months. Tell that to the crazy customers when it's a full moon. Seriously, Cindy. I mean, there's crazy people at a full moon. Okay, Catlin. So you're gonna be working night shift for a few months. Is it gonna be until about March or April? Because that could be your go with the flow. Actually, this could change as early as January. Huh. Interesting. Um. So again, the lunar eclipse is on November 8th. Okay. So I want you guys to put your energy into going with the flow. And it is going to take a lot of energy because we are unfortunately a society, and we've become this way because we've been sort of groomed to it, of like instant gratification, right? And again, that's something else that I try to impress upon everyone when I'm teaching, not teaching, when I'm giving instructions with spell work, when I'm giving instructions with manifesting. This shit is not going to happen overnight. It's not going to do that. That's not how energy work does. That's not how spell work happens. That's not how manifesting happens. Now, you may feel good, you may feel better like right after, and that's an energy shift, right? But mostly that's an energy shift so that you can start doing the actual work. You can start doing the actual healing, the actual energy work, the actual magic, because you have to get to a better place, right? In your head in order to be able to do this. So, really, Catlin. It could. I was thinking the earliest that it was supposed to be over is January, but I could be wrong. Um, I think we've talked about your signs and numbers before in some of my other classes, but I'll come back to that. So, oh, I'm sorry, Joshua. No, this is not free readings tonight. This is a show about rituals and magic. But thank you. So I'm giving you guys some opportunities here to sort of create something without having to use like a lot of energy, without having to use like a ton of your energy. You can start doing simple things like just making sure all your tools are clean. This is an excellent time for you to clean all your mortar and pestles. Okay, there's mine. It's an excellent time to clean your mortar and pestles. It's an excellent time to like clean all of your athames. Don't put them out in the eclipse moon to clear. Don't do that. I don't even put water out. Well, I put water out in the eclipse energy, but it's because I want that specific energy. I don't drink it. I don't drink it like I do the other water. Like this water is, I can't even remember what I'm on now. I think I'm drinking still Pisces full moon, because I put water out in every moon. But this is a good time for your to clean your athames. So, or your whatever your tools. But you don't have to put them out in the moon, right? Because selenite will also recharge these bad boys. Oh yeah, yeah they will. So just sitting them beside each other is also very helpful. It's a good time to put some selenite maybe on your card decks. Yeah. Um, it's a time when I've already harvested like a lot of my stuff, and I start organizing it and start thinking about, okay, I want to make sure I have enough rosemary. I want to make sure I have enough thyme, because those are my favorites. I mean, you guys have been here for a minute, right? I'm starting to use more and more cedar. Um, in my stuff. So I'm just like making sure that I have enough and keeping it organized, because organization for Virgo is fun. I mean, that's fun for me. That's a little bit of a rest for me. So scary. I am such a pain in the ass. But the thing is that that's something that you can get instant gratification from, is cleaning and working with your tools that way. Working in magic, working in manifesting takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. Along with the other thing, karma is not going to happen overnight. It would be neat to see instant karma, but you don't always see that, right? I mean, I don't I don't follow a lot of my ex-boyfriends on social media because I just, there was a reason why we're not together anymore, you know? But some of my friends every now and then will send me screenshots of stuff that's going on with them. And I'm like, why are you sending me this? Like, I thought their karma was bad because I'm not in their lives. I am hilarious. I mean, seriously, I am hilarious. But but this is but I just, karma is not instantaneous. Sometimes it takes years. Seriously. And honestly, I've had things happen to me in the past few years. I'm like, is this karma from when I was a 20-year-old and I was an asshole? Because in my 20s, I was a total asshole. It always amazes me when I meet people that are older and they're still in that. And I'm like, did you not evolve at all in your 30s? I mean, was there not like an evolution that brought you out and like, hey, this is what life is about? No? Okay. So it's very interesting to say the least. But I still experience karma. I mean, it happens. Just all kinds of magic, Joshua. Lots of fun stuff. So there's some other things that I want to mention to you. Becky has been making eggshells. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with that, but also I'm streaming to La Hermosa Bruja and to her Facebook page, and she also does this. So eggshells are fantastic. I like to use them when I have like circles, when I make a circle of protection, a circle of magic, whatever. I like to use them. Sometimes if I don't have enough or if I don't have a lot, because I mean, I got some right here. Sometimes if I don't have enough or if I don't have a lot, I I'll just put little tiny piles of eggshells and black salt, just depending on what I'm using. I put those at like north, south, east, west corners just to sort of, pretend. But they represent light. They represent the fertility. They're bringing the light into what you're doing. And you have to have a balance. You have to have a balance. So you have some kind of dirt to go with it. And that's a whole nother show. Um, but what I do, what the other thing that I want to address here is while we're healing, not healing, while we're reflecting, while we're resting, while we're taking a breath, um, this is a really good time for you to look at what it is that you're wanting, why you're wanting something so bad instantly. Like, what is it that you're wanting to happen instantly? Because this is not bewitched. We're not going to snap our fingers or, we're not going to make that happen, really quickly. Everything takes its own sweet time. So I want you to sit back and I want you to think through this. And is this pain? Is there something that's making you uncomfortable? Is there something that is painful in your life and you're looking for instant relief from it? And for a long time, my instant relief was food. I mean, it really is sometimes still. Um, I'll just show you guys a dirty little secret that I have here. Well, it's not, but okay. I stopped eating the donuts, but and it's the big pack. Yeah. So when shit gets weird with me, or I need some instant gratification, I reach for the brownie. I also reach for the brownie because it does help ground me. When I've got a lot of energy flowing through me, my teeth tend to chatter. I tend to like shake a lot, like I'm cold, but I'm not. My body temperature actually goes up. But the only way that I can really ground is with something sweet. So I do keep sweets around me a lot, But when I'm in an uncomfortable space or I'm unhappy about something, and I just I look for those things of instant gratification, and brownies are one of them. I'm trying. No, no, that's I am changing my mindset, and I have actually been exercising now, because exercise is an instant gratification. It doesn't change your body just because you exercise once, but god dang, like now I'm actually starting to crave that shit. Don't tell my trainer. Um, but I'm actually starting to crave it. So I'm trying to change the things that I'm like craving, right? Because there is no instant gratification. It's just like with the moon. Working with the moon, you're going to see that things take time. We had a lunar eclipse in May. It affected the fixed signs the heaviest for 6 months. Okay, 5 months. But it affected the fixed signs of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius the heaviest for those several months. Now, next year is probably going to be a different sign, but what we have here is just seeing that things take time, and we also have to take a break. We have to take a rest. We have to have that time of reflection. Otherwise, if we don't stop and have that time of reflection and focus on like where we're going, our surroundings, what's happening, we're never going to we're never going to come out of that frenzy, that manic, that hyped up energy, right? And I'm telling you, I've been there. Especially, and people think because you work from home or you work out of your home that you're not as busy. I am busier now than I ever was when I worked a 40-hour a week job. Or I mean when I was talking to a friend of mine earlier about when I worked like as a coordinator in a chemistry department at a school, and I didn't work as hard as I do now. And I was working with a bunch of really they were chemists. Come on, I'm a biologist, you know. I mean, but there was a lot of egos there. You know, it was a lot of work, but I do a lot more now running two businesses out of my home because I never stop. And it took me a while to realize that I wasn't stopping. We were going on vacation. We had the opportunity to go on vacation twice last year. I mean, one of them was a gift to us, so we weren't actually paying for it. It was a gift from my family. But we went on vacation twice, and I was still working the whole time. So, just like I said before earlier in the video, everyone is replaceable. If I don't put our merchandise, if I don't post it and put it into Amazon or on eBay or Etsy or whatever it doesn't matter. Somebody else is going to post it. Somebody else is going to sell the same thing. Isn't that right, Badger? Somebody else is going to do it. So everyone is replaceable. So, but you can't be replaced to your family. You can't replace if you injure yourself so bad that you can't function, or if you have a heart attack because you're so stressed out. Make sure that you're taking the time to rest. Everything in nature rests, and a lot of it rests in the winter. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why the nights are longer, not just because of daylight savings time. I know. But everything rests. Everything in nature must rest. This is a great time to rest and reflect and flow with the current and just breathe, because working in this eclipse energy is intense, And even I don't fully understand it. And I've been doing it for a really long time. I put my moon water out, I label it so that I make sure I don't accidentally just sit down and add my crystal light or whatever I'm drinking today. Oh, Hawaiian punch. That I don't add that to the wrong moon water. Now, Catlin, if you're needing some get up and go and you replace donuts with brownies, I still eat donuts and cookies. Yeah. And thank you, Becky. I watched a lot of Bewitched when I was a kid. Um, so if you need some get up and go, Catlin, put some water out in this Aries moon. I I do. I drink different waters. I like to drink moon water, but I drink full moon water. I drink new moon water. I mean, but I also sort of pair it to my mood, and sometimes I'll just drink it all and just keep going. But the eclipse moon water I save and I put it to the side and I use that in different practices. Just like the dirt that I was saying that we would talk about later. Like, because there's a whole bunch of different dirt, right? There's crossroads dirt, which I live near a crossroads, so it's really easy for me to get. There's churchyard dirt, which again, there's churches like right down the street from me. There's graveyard dirt, and you want to be really careful about that. You don't want to pick up just any graveyard dirt. You want to be aware of whose grave it is and making sure that they had a good energy while they were here. Keep that in mind. Um and then I feel like there's another one. Actually, I feel like there's a couple more, but I'm going to think about it. It's just like there's a whole bunch of different kinds of water. There's lake water, which is not stagnant, but it moves a lot slower. There's river water or creek water that moves very fast. There's a lot of fast moving energy. And then we have ocean water, which is a whole different animal. Love that. So there's a lot of different waters. There's rainwater, there's storm water. I mean, there's a lot of different waters out there for that too. Just think about that. It affected me all right, but it was a good wake up call. That's what it was supposed to be, Lori. Yeah. I've never thought about grave dirt due to feeling it was always spoiled by people. Yeah. Yeah. So, one of the witches I was talking to this week, she was telling me that she was like, she's very, very careful about who she gets her graveyard dirt from. And she goes to specific graves of specific like practitioners, specific witches. And she's like, I know their heart was good. I know their heart was pure. So she gets dirt from them. And it's not like you're looking for a bucket full. I mean, we're talking about just small vials. You don't need a ton of it. You really don't. Is he sleeping sitting up? Would you look at this? Mm-hmm. No, 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 no. I don't drink Eclipse water. That's a good point, Catlin. I do not drink Eclipse water. I use it in my practice. I don't drink it. Yeah, but I cook with moon water, especially if it's like a peaceful moon. I like to cook with that. I like to put that energy into my food, into the preparation. What? Did it disturb you? I mean, he's so much fun. I've apparently disrupted his nap. Okay, but I think I missed what you use grape dirt. Oh, well, okay, you can use it for a number of things and you use it in different spells, but you can use it in conjunction with eggshells because the eggshells, you need that yin and yang energy. Those eggshells represent the light and fertility, and the graveyard dirt represents the opposite end, the shadow and death. So you have to have that balance in nature, so you always see that. It's just like in Star Wars. Oh my gosh. Okay, y'all know I love Star Wars. is what brought me and Dr. Seuss together. Since he's Harry Potter and I'm Lord of the Rings, and then we both love Star Wars. So in Star Wars, that's part of um, the Force is that there's light and dark. You know, Darth Vader went to the dark side, but there's balance in it. You know, it's not, you have to have that balance. Really, I'm so sorry. Am I disturbing you? I mean, so I apparently rent my office from the animals. I know. The rarely seen but always here, Jasmine. Can you guys see her? She's laid out by like third base. Yes, the Aries water, like fire water, Catlin, is really just it's invigorating. I personally enjoy it. And I have an air moon, so you know. Okay, so I've said a lot today. I've said a lot. I know. Usually I have at least one spell for you guys, but I just really want you guys to be aware of these eclipses that are coming up. And of course, I'm going to be talking more about them as we get closer. But the eclipse energy and as we're easing into fall and winter, the veil is already thinning. I mean, can y'all feel it? Like usually it's just a lot closer to Halloween, but it's really already getting thin. And I'm telling you that we need to sort of go with the flow here. Trying to force things to happen, Badger. Trying to force things to happen, trying to ow, okay, what was that? Um Apparently I'm trying to force things with him. Um but trying to make that happen is not a good time. We need to go with the flow. I'm not saying don't stand up for yourself. I'm not saying don't protect yourself. That is not what I'm saying at all. But this is the time that we need to have that energetic shift and just say, I'm just going to take a little rest. Just going to take a little rest. Once we get past some of this eclipse energy or past the initial pop of it, um, and as we get closer to Mars going direct in January, um, we're going to be able to pick up some speed. But this is going to be a real interesting holiday season with Mars in retrograde. Is this what is this what we deal with here? Okay. Yeah. Well, apparently I was in his way. So, do you guys have any questions or any things going on? By spring, I'm hoping to be enrolled back in school. That's great, Lori. What are you wanting to study? The veil is thinning from sure passing the graveyard on the way to work. It's starting to get it. Yes. Yeah. Especially some of the older ones. I kind of feel like the like the older ones are like the ones that are surfacing earliest this year. And maybe it's always like that. I don't know, but it's just I feel like there's a time element here. I feel like it's just happening a lot sooner than normal. Yeah, that kitty always has something to say. And now he's over there eating his brother, nephew, whatever food. And then I got an injured one back here. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's fantastic, Lori. That's fantastic. Um, I'm going to do um I'm going to do a quick update probably in January from the tutorial that I did a few weeks ago called In the Tarot. Um, I'm going to do an update because I've taken, everybody's going to laugh, I've taken 2 more tarot classes. They were just quick, like couple of weekers since I've wrapped up that tutorial. I just couldn't stop. I love, love, love taking classes. And since right now we're doing the tutorial on numerology, so we're doing life and numerology, and that will wrap up probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks, and then we'll all have the holiday period to take off from learning. But yeah, I like learning about tarot too, and I use them every day. I put a little extra protection in my car because of it. Absolutely, Catlin, that's a good idea. Come on, Badger, I can't see. And to take solid. Oh my gosh, Lori, that's fantastic. Oh wow. Okay, you can bite me if you want to, but you're laying on my crystals. Okay, now he's pissed at me. You see that? He's throwing his tail around, knocking stuff down, knocking stuff off of my selenite that has the flower of life. All right. So, make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves, please. Don't strain your magical muscles during these eclipse times. Just rest, recover. This is a good time for it. It really is. Um, and we are going to talk more about the eclipse energy. I'm going to talk more about eclipse water and what we can do with it. But I just wanted to make sure tonight you guys know after this full moon in Aries that we have, it's a lot of energy. It's a lot of nice boosting energy. But really, we need to we need to embrace some rest after that energy. Right, Badger? Are you ready to embrace some rest? Yeah. Don't bite me. You're literally biting the hand that feeds you. This is so much fun. Ow! Hey. Hey, I'm going to pack up Badger and send him to you, Courtney. I know how much you love cats. He'll be in the FedEx box sitting on your doorstep in the morning. If she's still here. um, well, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. Have a great week. If you're watching from Readings at the Round Table on YouTube, um, some of my shows from Metaphysical Round Table's YouTube channel have sort of migrated over to Readings at the Round Table. But Readings at the Round Table, you can get your weekly zodiac reading and you can get your monthly numerology reading on Readings at the Round Table. And I've been putting astrology chat on there and card reviews. So I'm also starting to review books because people have been sending me books to review instead of just cards. So I thought, let's do that. So I'm going to start reviewing books on there too, as well as card decks and maybe even some tools and stuff. Ooh, won't that be fun? So some of those shows have come over to Readings at the Round Table, but you can catch all of the shows in reruns, whether it's a live or if it's pre-recorded. You can watch them all on Metaphysical Round Table on YouTube and Readings at the Round Table. You just get more stuff on Readings at the Round Table because of the zodiac and stuff. But it's so much fun. It's good. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This is so much fun. I know. I love this group. Y'all are just awesome. Aren't they awesome, Badger? After you scratched me and bit me. So much fun. All right. Well, you guys have a great, great week. I will see you next week. And don't forget the other shows. And until I see you guys again, get out there and make your magic. Bye.